Why am I happy I waited until 27 to take steroids? First, like with all drugs, once you take it, you're going to want more. And you might say that's not going to be me. Start with like a dose of 200 and I'll just stick there. That's not going to happen. Even if you're going to start with a little TRT, you're going to go up 200, 300, 350. It just happens, man. You're going to want more. And the younger you start, the more inclined you are to cheat on your cycle, to start at 220 and finish at 350, and you're like, wait, what happened? You just start creeping up because it's going to work and it's going to feel good. And you're going to be like, man, what would feel even better is more. Because that's what happens when you're young and you take drugs. When you're young and you take drugs, you tend to want to take more drugs, especially when they work. I'm just telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I was 21, now I'm 27, and I can tell you when I was 21, any drug I took, the favored dose was more. Didn't really matter. And I guess not everyone's like that. It's more of an addict tendency. So if you have more of an addict tendency, then moving into steroids, you will struggle with that. And then that could be different. So first thing I want to address is if you're young and you've never had any experiences with alcohol, marijuana, or anything like that, and you start taking steroids, there could be a chance that you immediately just start wanting to do more and more and more and develop an addiction that other people won't have. You could become an entire addict or all that fun stuff. On the other end of that, there is a more casual side, like my friend I will not name. He is on Tren, and he just got his blood done. He's actually really enjoying Tren. One of the weird, I don't know, maybe it's some shit Tren. I don't know. But one of the only people I've ever met who says they like it. And he's having a good time. So he wanted to go back on. Only really took 6 weeks off, and he's going to get his blood work done again. And he said, well, I wonder what my blood work's going to look like. And I was like, dude, you've only been doing steroids for a year and a half, 2 years. So your blood work's probably going to look like, you've been abusing steroids for a year and a half to 2 years. But the good thing is your blood work most likely will not look like you've been abusing steroids for 8 years. And that's the thing, is when you're young, you don't think about how far away 27 is. You don't think about that shit when you're 21 because you're fucking 21. Believe me, I was there, bro. And I know when you're 21, you're fucking balling. You don't want to listen to anyone, and I get it. I wouldn't want to listen to this video either, but hopefully there is somebody who catches this voice of reason. And you're young, man. You're younger than you think you are. So hear me out here. I got a couple more things. And if you want to bodybuild professionally, you might want to get some shit in order in your life before you start taking steroids because it's expensive and you need coaches. And if you want to do everything right, you need a house or a foundation to build the house on, so to speak. So, you don't want to just jump in. You kind of want to wait until you have financially other things in order. You don't really just want to start taking steroids right away when you're young if you want any chance of going pro. A lot of people are not in the financial situation that Chris Bumstead was or whoever, you got to think about who you are, bro. Where'd you grow up? Did you have two parents? Are they divorced? Or is your family alive? Do you have debt? Do you have student loans? Do you have a car payment? Does your car work? Does the AC in the car work? These are, you know what I mean? Are you in a financial situation to fucking try and do this even? Or should you have to, not everyone's born in a situation that allows them to bodybuild. I was fucking broke. I had to wait and fucking get my shit together in life before I could consider even doing this, because trying to take steroids at a young age and the finances that I was in, I was addicted to goddamn cocaine. Shane, please stop. No, I'm just kidding, bro. Do whatever you want. Dude, when I was younger, I was not in a spot that I should have been doing this shit, and I'm happy as fuck that I didn't. Because now, at an older age, it's different. I can handle it a little bit better. And yeah, I'm not doing any other drugs. I'm not fucking drinking or anything. And I think all that would definitely come into a factor. You really shouldn't drink on steroids or off steroids, because as a bodybuilder, you shouldn't drink ever, really, because let's think about it. You're off steroids, so if you drink, you crash your test, right? You get 3 days of bad hormone reception, bad protein synthesis, and you're not going to make gains. So you really, as a natty, can't afford to drink. If you're on steroids and you drink, you'll die. You'll just blow your liver and kidneys. Your little echidnas will stop fucking working. They'll start crawling around in there and fucking die, fizzle up and die. So there you have it. As a bodybuilder, you either don't drink because you're natty or you don't drink because you're on gear. You can make your choice, but either way, a real bodybuilder doesn't drink for those reasons. I'm on gear. It's gonna fuck with my cycle. I'm gonna get a high estrogen. It's gonna give me a blip in my my hormones, and I don't want that because I'm trying to make gains. Or I'm natty, so it's going to fucking slam my shit for 3 days. I'm not going to have protein synthesis or anything for the next, my test is going to be body slammed and fucking for 4 days. I'm not going to have test till Tuesday, so you choose why you don't drink, but if you bodybuild, you don't drink. That's that. So it takes you a while to get to a point to realize that. And when you're young, you probably want to drink. So you probably shouldn't take fucking steroids when you're young because you're going to want to fucking drink. Drink until you're done. I drank until I was done. I drank a lot. I drank like a fucking fish, bro, for years. But I don't anymore. And that's why, I'm like, maybe I'll take a little test. And also my test was low, but we'll get to that. But don't fucking drink and do drugs and then take steroids. You will die, motherfucker. I mean, you might not, but you probably will. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Next. The mental side effects are real. Anxiety is the main one for me. Kind of just like walking around, really struggling. Almost like making a face like I need to shit all the time. Just like, ugh, whoo, kind of like I got one barking. I'm like, whoo. Walking faster. I'm quite literally walking faster everywhere I need to go. I'm just like, fuck. I need to get there. And when I go to places, I need to get in and out faster. I'm having to time my workouts, not to make sure I get them done quickly, but to slow the fuck down. Because I can't stand being in a place socially with other people, especially wearing a short sleeve shirt or shorts, which is hot in my gym in the summer right now, but the anxiety is so high, I can't imagine the thought of somebody seeing my body, which is funny because I don't know what to call myself. I got some followers on Instagram, but so that's that, guys. But yeah, the anxiety is there. Roid rage is real. If your estrogen spikes and you're not on top of that, you will be noticeably more irritable, and the way you display that could vary from person to person. My car broke down. I cracked the windshield a while ago. It was in all kinds of disarray, and I went and bought a new truck that I probably shouldn't have bought. And I will say that I can confidently say I wouldn't have bought such an expensive truck if I wasn't on such a high dose of testosterone. It just happened. I was pissed about the car, and I wanted a nice new truck, and I ended up getting the nicest, newest truck on the lot. Now, I could afford that because, well, let's think. Actually, this is an example I want to make because it took me 7 years to put myself in a position to buy that truck, and it only took me like 6 weeks of high testosterone to convince myself that I deserved the nicest truck on the lot. And that really kind of brings me to the meat and potatoes of this video, which is that like a similar thing happens to a young man when he takes steroids. And it's really because muscle is a commodity amongst men. It's rare and it's sought after, and it's been that way since the Roman times, dude. Like, muscle is hard to get. There's really no even steroids. If you do not work out, you will not get super jacked. So it's like, it is a pretty fucked up shortcut to something that is a very, very high commodity amongst men. And it can make you think that you deserve things or that you are in a position in life that you're not. Like acquiring muscle quickly can make you, it feels like you're going to advance every other aspect of your life in a hurry because you've just put on 5 years of gains in 6 weeks. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. And like taking steroids will give you an immediate gratification at a young age. And that's really fucking dangerous. That's really, really fucking dangerous because you will not do well in life thinking that anything else is ever going to work out that way. You will not have immediate gratification. And that's the most scary part. I can confidently say the most dangerous part about steroids is that mental side effect right there. I mean, all the physical side effects in the short term can be managed, and if you abuse it for the long term, it's gonna fuck you up. But even taking steroids in the short term, like taking a 6 to 8 month cycle at a young age, could drastically like change the trajectory of your life, man, because it could make you just like think, oh, I'm going to earn all this money really quick, or I'm going to do this or that, and everything's going to work out for me in 6 month spans, and I'm going to sell all this stuff in 6 months, or I'm going to do all this in 6 weeks. And like, dude, sometimes you have to go to college for like 4 or 5 years. Sometimes you have to save money for 5, 6 years. And like, going to build muscle slowly for 5, 6, 7 years teaches you that. And even if you don't go to school or you don't do anything that would require you to commit for 5 to 6 years, bodybuilding naturally will inevitably give you that. So if you don't, like, you could do a 4-year stitch in the military, you could do college, you could do something to teach you what 4 years of commitment gives you, or you could bodybuild naturally for 4 years and then get that, through that as well. And if you're cheating yourself out of the best thing in bodybuilding, which is learning that discipline and learning that if I show up every day for 4 years, I'll get something that I never could have got in 6 weeks, no matter what shortcut I take. And even with steroids, you cannot do 4 years of work in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, you can do 6 months of work, maybe. But you cannot do 4 years of work in 6 weeks. You might think that, but that's wrong. So I'm just saying it's not the answer to all your problems, and it might, in fact, create more problems than it could ever solve, because it could really change the long-term trajectory of your life, dude. You could fucking make some bad choices, and you could start expecting immediate gratification. I mean, I see on the internet all the time people saying, like, you don't need to save money at a young age because you're going to close $10 million deals when you're older, so spend all the money you have now because know that later you're never going to close a $10 million deal. That's terrible advice. You should save all the money that you have. Don't worry about making more, because if you make more with bad spending habits, you'll still have nothing. So it's kind of like a really bad, that's just bad medicine in general. I can't even have peace with that. I don't even know what to say about that, but that's something completely different, man. I just want to say, a lot of people want to take steroids in the modern day, and it is that epidemic. And I'm not going to say whether you should or shouldn't take steroids, but I'm going to say this is why you should wait. And I'm going to say that if you really want to be a high earner and like get your value up as a male, the natural bodybuilding will help you do that way more than like building a bunch of muscle with the cheat code, because you're going to take away a lot of discipline that you could get. And that's so valuable, bro. Those first couple of years, like what you will learn about yourself and like being the smallest guy in the gym, going into being an average guy in the gym, going into being one of the better guys in the gym. Like you have the opportunity to be humble. You might be cocky for a week and then get your shit together. And then like these are lessons. These are valuable fucking lessons that you will not learn if every week your bench goes up by 10 pounds and you're just like, I'm fucking Giga Chad. It's not going to work, dude. So just please be careful, because yeah, you can stop the gyno, you can stop the acne, you can keep your hair with tadalafil, all these half natty, I do all these peptides, I have no side effects, it'll never affect me. Motherfucker, the side effects are mental. The side effects are the trajectory of your life, bro. Where are you going in the long term? What did you learn doing this? This is real side effects, dude. So you gotta watch for that shit. You gotta be careful. I'm gonna end this video. It's getting a little rambly. If you like this style of video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. I could just keep talking about the cycle. It's kind of like a 6-week update for me, and really just what I want to put out. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out. Peace.
Slide my side of Harlem, catch me riding with my Nina, bro. Got an apple bottom that remind you of Anita, bro. You mean like Q-tip? That I do.